Tuesday afternoon. I'm back again. I have been asked by one of the companies that we visit on a weekly basis to put together a little video about how to open your hips up and loosen off any stiffness you've got going on in your lower back while you're still standing next to your desk. So what I thought I would do is go through a couple of the main problems that we get from sitting at a desk all day and show you some exercises you can do right there to loosen them off. So the main problems we get: hip flexors. When you're sitting at a desk all the time, your hip flexors, which flex your hip, get really tight and contracted. What that does is pulls your pelvis into anterior tilt. So especially if you've got weak abdominals, that's going to give you loads of stiffness in your lower back. So lower back pain from sitting at a desk normally comes from here, not here. Another thing that happens is we get very tight in our chest. You're sitting, typing all the time, you might be driving to work, holding onto a steering wheel. These muscles here where your pectorals meet your arm bone, they get very, very tight as well, and can in turn tighten up and pull our shoulders round so that we lengthen in these muscles across the back of the body. So I'm just going to go through a couple of exercises to help us loosen off. These are Pilates moves. So to begin with, maybe I should face you. To begin with, we're just going to plant our feet hip distance apart. We're going to make sure that our pelvis is in neutral. So if you make a diamond like that, make sure your pubic bone and hip bones are level. Push the top of your head towards the ceiling, push your feet into the floor, and just visualize creating space between the joints of your spine. Pull your shoulders back so your middle finger is tracking down the seam of your trousers. Now from here, we're going to start by rolling down. So we just breathe in, put our chin on our chest, pull our tummies in as we roll over one bone at a time. Just let the weight of your head and arms pull you over here. Have a little nod and a shake, a little bit of bend in the knees there, and then breathe in and squeeze your core muscles to stack your body up again, one vertebrae at a time. You can give the shoulders a little roll there. We're then going to get the spine moving through the transverse plane. So keeping your hips ahead, hands together, twist to the right, breathe in, and back to center, same again. Twist to the left, keep those hip bones facing dead ahead. Careful of putting pressure on your hands and tensing up your shoulders. And back to center again. Then to help open out the chest, I'm just going to show you this. So, these parts of your chest here, when you're typing or driving, they get very, very tight, pull us forward. So what we're going to do is pop our hands together like that, keep the shoulders back and down, open up the chest. So watch your hand, reach it as far away as you can. Keep your shoulders down and reach your hands away from you. Then bring that back again. You can take a couple of breaths while you're in that stretch. Same on the other side. Reach, keep the shoulders down, and bring that back again. So that's the first three things just to start to get loosened off in the spine. Then, to open out the front of the hips, we're going to do a standing hip flexor stretch. So, I've got my pelvis facing dead ahead, I'm on the ball of my back foot, my back leg is straight, I'm tucking my tailbone underneath, and you'll feel that sting into the front of this right hip. Again, this should be easy enough to do when you're in your work kit. If you're wearing a skirt, I'll show you another option in a second. Knee should not go past midfoot. So I'm just going to breathe into that. And just every time I exhale, try and tuck under a little bit more. Anything longer than 30 seconds is a developmental stretch, but please make sure your muscles have got a bit of warmth in them before you do this. So that's for the front of the hip. The only one I've been able to come up with, if you're wearing a skirt, is the camel. The camel's awkward, but you'd be on your knees, hands just behind your pelvis or knuckles, and lean back, keeping your hips over the top of your knees, but do take great care with that one. Next, open out glutes. I T-bounce a bit. You might want to touch on your desk. Put your ankle over your knee, sit down into that, and press the knee away from you. Again, about minimum of 15, but 30 seconds or more on each side. And the last one that I want to do here is inner thighs. So in fact, I'll do this way on. So take the knee over the top of the foot, don't let it pass the toe, and don't let it go outside of the foot either. Press down there, not on the knee joint, and feel that stretch coming into the inner thigh. Same on the other side. You can even make this one a little bit dynamic so you work into the legs as well. So, those are some great ways of opening out the hips, which is probably what's causing pain in your lower back. If you have real problems with your back in that you've got a slipped disc or something like that, there's a couple of things that I'd like to show you to give you relief from that and create more space between the joints. I know this is desk work, but you have to decide what's more important to you. What your colleagues think of you or what your back's doing. So, to keep the back nice and lengthened, we're going to pop our feet together on the floor, knees together, arms out to the side, palms to ceiling. I'm going to let the knees drop down to the left as I look to the right, and what I'm doing is pressing with my right knee in that direction, pushing it away and reaching with my right hand in the opposite direction, keeping both shoulder blades down, and that's pulling lots of length into the spine there. So I'll do that on both sides, press through to the end of that knee, reach away with my left hand, like that. And lastly, to open up the spine at the front, we do what we call the cobra, which is this position. So I'm always pulling my body forward with my hands, I'm pulling my shoulders down, I've got my elbows tucked in, and a little bit of flexion in them as well. We don't want to be up like this, drag them down. So, we started with a roll down, very, very quickly, roll down, roll up. We then came into a spine twist, then we opened out the chest a little bit, then I showed you some openings for the hip flexors, the glutes, whoops, and the inner thighs. Nothing to remember there at all. You should be able to grasp that quite easily. If you'd like any more exercises you can do at your desks, let me know what it is that's ailing you and I'll do my best to help. Thank you.